What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning into the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over these social spheres at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day, and today is Thursday, November 20th, and I don't know if it's just me, but this season is flying by. One moment, we are 2-0 on top of the world. Just got done taking out, at the time, two Super Bowl contenders in the Lions and the Commanders. And then all of a sudden, we are tying the Cowboys, losing to the Browns, to the Panthers, to the Eagles, defending champs, right? And to all of a sudden now being 6-3-1, which is just the ugliest dang record because of that tie. I still don't think there should ever be ties in football. At the very least, if it's still knotted in overtime, at the end of overtime, let's go into some sort of kicking sudden death deal. Start at the 30. Each kicker gets a chance, right? And the first kicker to miss, that team loses the game. That's kind of my solution to getting rid of the ties in football. Anything else, anything other than ending in a tie, I am okay with. Because at the end of that Cowboys game, I sit there for 4 hours watching the game, just like you guys all did, and it felt like kind of a waste of time, right? You didn't win, you didn't lose. Nothing really came of it other than our defense looking like absolute cheeks, getting ran up and down the field by the Cowboys offense. Let's get rid of the ties. Enough rambling about that. Now we sit in third place in the North, and we are now the 6th seed in the playoff picture, but we've got a long way to go before that really starts to matter. These next 3 games are going to, I think, define our season, and that 3-game slate starts with the Vikings coming to town on Sunday, and boy, do I like a good ass whooping against Minnesota. Excuse my language. We're going to have to get some guys healthy, though. We've got like 15 guys on the injury report, and the Vikings, I think, have 5. So not looking good on that front. Some practice updates from this afternoon. Josh Jacobs, great news here. Threw the pads on today and did at least individual drills. Coach said before practice that they would start him with individuals and see how he responded. So regardless of if he did anything else, the fact that he suited up and gave it a shot is great news. Savion Williams is also back at practice, and if he is not in cleats, he has been in a walking boot. So coach said that he's had the boot on for a little bit now. He even got off the bus in New York before the game with the boot on, only to go out there, return some kicks on kick return, and come down with the play of the game, that catch on 3rd and 10 on the game-winning touchdown drive. So love to see Savion back out there at practice. For the guys that did not go, Quay Walker still dealing with that stinger that he suffered during the game on Sunday against the Giants. Quay Walker did not practice. Carl Brooks with an ankle didn't go, and Nate Hobbs, as we all know, did not practice either. Nate Hobbs won't be back out there for probably another week or 2. All right. Anybody planning to go to a Packers game this year? If you are, maybe you're planning to go to the Vikings game in Lambeau this weekend. Maybe you're planning on going to Detroit for Thanksgiving to watch that boat whooping. Do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the market. And if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else: StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats, you name it. And TickPick is the cheapest every single time. You want an extra $22 off your ticket order? Of course you do. Use the code Packers22 for an extra $22 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. I appreciate their partnership with myself. I've used them time and time again, and I've never had an issue. They are the best in the biz. Let's hop into the comment section here. And as always, if you would like to be a part of the show right now, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 2332. Family owned and operated since 2007 with decades of combined legal experience. Nicolet Law's team of compassionate local attorneys are prepared to meet your unique legal challenges head on. Nicolet Law has just shy of 2,000 five-star reviews, and they have helped their clients recover over $350 million in the last 17 years that they have been in business. Injured, get Nicolet. All right, what do we got cooking up in the chat on this beautiful Thursday? A few days removed from a 27-20 win over the Giants, and a few days away from Packers-Vikings, Lambeau Field. We've got plenty to talk about. And my man, Nate Smith, starting us off. Jersey choice for Sunday. Love, Parsons, Watson, or throw it back to the Gilbert Brown. Nate, these are the questions I live for. You got some fire choices there, Nate. I will say, how about we go? Let's go with Parsons. That's who I would go with. First game against the Vikes as a member of the Packers, and I think he's going to give J.J. McCarthy a lot of problems in the backfield. So throw on the Micah Parsons jersey. Let me know what you end up going with, Nate, come game time on Sunday. Appreciate you for swinging through. What else we got? Rakeem in the house. What's up, Rob? What's your prediction for the next couple of games? Let's just go with the next three, right, Rakeem? We've got three divisional opponents. Vikings this Sunday at noon. Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving. That's also at noon. And then the Bears game the following week. And rumors is that game is being flexed to the 3:25 time slate instead of the noon game. So a little interesting nugget there. I will say 2-1. I would be pretty disappointed if we won only one of the three. I would be pretty happy if we went 2-3 or 2-1, and I would be ecstatic if we went 3-0, somehow finding a way to win all three games this weekend. I think we'll win this one for sure. The Lions game is tough, right? In Detroit, Thanksgiving, we already beat them once. They'll have a little bit of a revenge mindset coming into that one. And we all know Dan Campbell gets his guys ready for the games. I don't know if I can say the same for Matt LaFleur. And I don't know if it's a coaching problem or if the guys themselves just like to wake up a little sleepwalkish. But if you're asking me which team I think will be more ready on that Detroit matchup, the Lions or the Packers, well, I don't know if I could say the Packers. So I think we probably lose that one and then come back and bounce back against the Bears, who are currently in first place, and we take them out in Lambeau. So 2-1 is my prediction. My hope is 3-0. My nightmare is 1-2, or golly, even worse, 0-3. You go 0-3 in this stretch, and the season's probably close to, but not over. But let's not even go there, right? Give me a 2-1 slate for the next three games. Thank you, Rakeem. Appreciate you as always, my man. You are always in here. I really appreciate it. Lacey, love seeing the jerseys behind you. Do you have a favorite item in your collection? Lacey, thank you for the kind words. Yes, I've been collecting pretty much anything Packers for a good while now, since I was a kid, of course. However, everything signed here in my office, I've gotten signed in person. I've never been one to buy autographed items. Nothing against those who do. It's just not my thing, mainly because before I even had the means to dive into that sector, my dad took me to meet Ray Nitschke when I was a kid back in the day, 97, I believe. And I've got a signed item from him with a cool picture to go along with that. My uncle has taken me to a few events where I've gotten some things signed as a kid. So since I was a kid, I've just kind of kept the collection autograph-wise to things I've gotten signed in person. As far as a favorite item, the Ray Nitschke item, of course. Me and my dad, my sister was there. Hard to beat that. That's probably up on its own pedestal. And then everything else is kind of on its own level, or on its same level. Like all the jerseys behind me, you see the Donnie Anderson or the Chester Markle. Met those guys up in Green Bay. And then Luke Musgrave, you see that one. Got his at training camp. I've got 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 26 signed jerseys on the wall right now, with another 15 being waiting in the closet to be framed and hung up. I'm out of space, kind of. I might have to remodel a little bit, scoot them all a little closer together. But yeah, another 15 jerseys in the closet that I've either gotten signed at training camp or OTAs or, during pregame, before the games up at Lambeau, maybe at autograph signings, anywhere, right? And yeah, I've always stuck to items that I've gotten signed in person. It's kind of like my own little personal museum or like story. Every item in here kind of has a fun story behind it. Like the Luke Musgrave jersey, for example. This was during his rookie year. It was during OTAs, so like 2 months after he got drafted by the Packers. And, I was like, he's probably going to turn into a pretty good player. I usually always get a few rookies jerseys just to show some love, right? And he was not signing for anybody. He's been a famous non-signer when it comes to like training camp and all that stuff. But he sees that I have his specific jersey, of course, and he walks over and, says thanks for the support, signs it, and he went on his way. As simple and short and sweet as it is, it was fun. And now it's hanging up in there. And the picture below it is a picture of him signing it that my wife took during that little interaction. So, yeah, fun. All the items have a fun little backstory to it. And I just keep on adding over the years, right? This past year, Baron Sorrell. Who else did I get? Savion Williams. I brought their jerseys to training camp, and they both signed them for me. Last year was Tucker Kraft, Marshawn Lloyd. Who else? Jordan Morgan. I usually get 3 or 4 rookies jerseys to hopefully get signed at that following training camp. And usually it all works out pretty well. The rookies are pretty excited to see that someone's repping them and supporting them. So, and in turn, they show some love and take a minute out of their busy day to sign. So it's fun, and I've always loved it. I didn't get to go to training camp as a kid, so kind of making up for lost time here as I've gotten a little older. Thank you, Lacey, for the question. Appreciate you. Bryce, 1 second. Sonny, I have a question. Sonny, lay it on me. Let me know your question in the chat. I'd love to get to it. Bear on Instagram and Bryce talking about Josh Jacobs. Realistic shot that Josh Jacobs plays this weekend. This may or may not be a fantasy question, my man Bryce says. I am totally honest, or I am honestly totally stumped on this one, Bryce. Matt LaFleur said yesterday that he is truly day-to-day and that they're going to do everything that they can to get him healthy enough to play. But I also, on the flip side, don't know if he's saying this so that, maybe the Vikings still take some time out of their preparation to prep for Josh Jacobs in the event that he doesn't go. Therefore, the Vikes, kind of wasted that time prepping for Josh Jacobs. I personally wouldn't play him. We need him for the larger outlook of this season, right? We got the Lions coming up, the Bears afterwards, the Vikings being the easiest of the 3, I think, and Emmanuel Wilson coming off a good game, Chris Brooks doing good as well. I think both those guys can carry the load in Josh's absence, but I don't know. The way that the Packers have been handling injuries, it wouldn't surprise me if they threw him out there this weekend. I have not been a fan, and I've talked about this here quite a bit. I have not been a fan of how they've gone about injuries. Zach Tom earlier this year played 1 snap against in the Browns game before leaving with the oblique injury that he was dealing with. Brandon McManus, of course, with the quad, was trotted out there when he wasn't healthy. Hell, even going back to last year with Christian Watson, playing him in a game that didn't matter after he was dealing with a lower body injury. And then, of course, we all know tears his ACL. The way they've gone about injuries, and especially for a team that is typically so cautious, has surprised me. So I would come up with a solid backup plan in the case that Jacobs doesn't go. But I truly am stumped as far as if I think he'll play or not. Tough to say right now. He practiced today in pads. He went through individuals. Reporters can't be there after individuals throughout the bulk of practice. So that's all that was reported on. Coach said this morning that they're going to give him a shot in individuals, see how he responds, and go from there. So we shall see. I think we'll know or have a better idea tomorrow and Friday on if he practices more. That'll kind of give us a little bit of a better idea on his status for Sunday. But as of right now, I truly am stumped. So I would come up with a good backup plan fantasy-wise if you're thinking about getting Josh Jacobs in there or not. So thank you, Bryce. I know my father-in-law is dealing with the same scenario. He's got Josh Jacobs, was talking to him a little bit ago, a couple days ago about, hey, is Josh Jacobs playing? And I truly, this is kind of one where I typically usually have a good idea. But this one, I don't know. We'll have to see. What else we got? Chris, my man, in the house. Hope all is well, brother. Have a blessed day. Thank you, sir. Same. I want Josh Jacobs to sit. I'll be pretty upset if they play him. Injury situation this year and last year, even with Quay, has been strange. Let Brooks and Wilson eat. It has been strange. Strange is a good word to describe it. Like I said earlier, they're typically on the side of caution when it comes to injuries. And lately, they've just been throwing guys out there. I don't get it. The Zach Tom situation, even Josh Jacobs earlier this season when he was dealing with the calf, when he was truly questionable, leading up to the game, and then he was active. I was surprised at that. Brandon McManus, of course. So it's been kind of a wild ride, dealing with the injuries and whether or not they're going to play. So thank you, Chris. Hope you have a blessed day as well, my man. Appreciate you as always for hopping in. Sonny, I hate all this negativity from fake fans about how the team is a downfall when it is not. Like, it's a process and the team will thrive. It's only Love's third with the youngest offense. Sonny, you got to tune that out, right? And I know it's near impossible to do that with social media these days. I do agree there are a lot of negative fans out there for all teams, right? And social media is just sort of an outlet for the keyboard warriors, right? And there's so much instant reaction to what's going on. Like the first quarter of the Giants game, and guys or fans are, fire everybody. This team is bad, all this stuff, only to just wait a little bit. And we come out on top, albeit being a little bit of an ugly game. We still won. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? Sonny, tune into GBP Daily. I will not steer you wrong. I usually side on the side of positivity, optimism. Every once in a while, I'll whine here and there, but nothing too crazy coming out of me, that's for sure. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate you. King AJ over on YouTube. When is a fair time to start talking about Rashawn Gary? Started off hot, then has been quiet in recent games with Parsons getting doubled and chipped. You'd expect Gary, Wyatt, etc. to win their 1v1s. King AJ, I think that time is now. Rashawn Gary played 39 of 72 snaps last weekend. He's constantly asking for a sub. Is he out of shape? I don't understand. I know he started off hot, right, earlier this year, and then teams kind of figured him out. And I think he's not playing up to par. He's definitely not playing up to the contract that he's being paid. And, yeah, with Parsons, like you said, getting doubled and chipped, you'd expect Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, especially Devontae Wyatt, has been pretty quiet over the last few weeks. Those guys really got to turn it up a notch because they are letting the defense down time and time again by not getting pressure on the quarterback. And hopefully with LVN coming back sometime in the near future, he can provide a little bit of a spark because we're not getting home enough with the 4 that we are sending, and it's got to change. So thank you, King AJ. Appreciate you. Have yourself a great Thursday. All right. That is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always love talking Packers with you guys. Hit me up on social media at GBP Daily. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.